Hello, precious people. I'm Jacqueline Parks. Welcome to my channel. Today we are doing a Christmas tree, so I'm wearing a little Christmas sweater. So definitely going to be having fun today, doing some Christmas tree painting. I'm still taping up my thing here, so bear with me. Hey, Marianne. Mwah! Love you, girl. I'm so glad you're on this morning. I know sometimes it's hard to get up, and I did not sleep good at all last night. I'll tell you, I don't know if I was hot or cold because it kind of went back and forth. And at one point, I looked at my watch, and it was 3:36. And I was like, ugh. I'm like, Lord, help me fall back to sleep. I don't think I really did, but it's okay. So today we're going to paint a lighted Christmas tree because that's going to help me. I have a commission that I'm doing. Here, can you all see me? I have a commission that I'm doing for a gentleman of his Christmas tree from his living room. That's all lit up and it's so pretty. And I'm like, all right, I can do it. Even if I haven't done it before, I can do it. Well, the Lord can help me do it, is what I say. I was actually looking up some scripture to tell you guys. Oh, you can't watch today, got a clean house. I want to come back and see this one. The Christmas tree is beautiful. Thank you. It turned out pretty good. Let's see if I can show it to y'all. You know what? Let me transition. I took a picture of it so y'all can see it there. There you go. It's not in the middle of the screen. I could have moved it over, I guess. But it is kind of a real pretty lighted tree. So I think it's gonna be fun. Hey, Linda. Mwah, love you, girl. So yeah, I'm painting this tree. I already painted it once, but we're going to paint it again. So it's going to be fun. See if I get the same results or not. So let me see. I got it on a piece of paper now instead of in this book. So in this book, this is my, if you guys don't have this book, it's a watercolor sketchbook and it's 140-pound paper. I got it at Michael's when it was on sale. There we go. I have to go the opposite direction of what it looks like. So that is, let me see. Yeah, 140 pound. And I really like this. It's got great thick paper. And looky, I just did the little cows for Movember because it's supposed to be anything mauve. So I'm going to leave this open so I can see what I'm painting. But I do like having my phone, which I have right here. Let's see. So I kind of pulled up some pictures of trees. And this is what I do. So I pull up pictures of trees and I just kind of scroll until I see one I like. Like, look at that pretty one. I really like that one. Maybe I'll try and paint that one. It doesn't really matter because it's gonna look like what I do. So yeah, isn't it beautiful, Linda? Thank you. Some of these are really nice online. So let me see if I can do my overhead and see if I can get it in the shot. If not, I have to push this forward just a little bit. And if you guys, totally was like trying to focus on something. I don't know what the camera was focusing on. Hey, Marianne says, hey, Linda. I just love you guys. You guys are the best and most supportive friends. All right, let's see if I can draw a picture of a Christmas tree. So you know I always kind of sketch at first. And so the top, and I'm just going to do real loose. Right, Marianne? You like it real loose, don't you? And if I don't like it, I can erase it. So I don't do real dark lines. I hold my pencil kind of towards the end and try not to. And trees aren't symmetrical, but you can make yours symmetrical if you want. All right, so I'm just kind of getting this kind of up here. I may erase the top a little bit. I think the top needs to be lit up a little bit more. And so, let me see if I got this straight. There we go. So you can't even see it. It's so light. But that's okay. The next thing we're going to do, there's so many different ways to do this. And you know my dislike of masking fluid. Even though I have masking fluid, I'm not going to use it because masking fluid just doesn't, I don't like it. I don't like masking fluid. Marianne is saying, what size painting are you doing for customer? What size? 8 by 10. And it's actually their whole living room. So I have to get like the mantle with the stockings and a couple other decorations on the walls. And it's a brick mantle or brick fireplace. So that's going to be fun. Painting bricks. Let me chit chat with you for a minute because I gotta like calm down a little. But yeah, it's an 8 by 10. It's gonna be his living room with the Christmas decorations up, and it's gonna look like so cozy. It's gonna be just beautiful, and of course, God's gonna help me paint this. But in the picture, there's a lighted Christmas tree, and it's just so pretty, and the atmosphere of the room is just cozy, and it's like I want to capture that. That's a lot for an 8 by 10. Hello. Have you seen my little ornaments that I paint? Have you seen this? Let me show you overhead. Hold on a second. Look at this. This is 3 inches maybe. Not even that maybe. Do I have a ruler I can show you? I don't know where my ruler is. There's usually a ruler right here on my desk. Can I find one when I need it? Probably not. But anyways, this is about 3 inches. And look at all the detail I have of that dog on a little wooden ornament. So I do kind of like painting small. And you'd be surprised. Like you can put in a couple bricks and then start. It's just going to look like the whole wall is brick. But then I only painted probably 10. So that's like the trick, is to get really good at painting a couple of them. You know it'll be pretty, or it'll be beautiful. Thank you. I know God is good. He will help me. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, or like and subscribe. If you have already subscribed, that's fine. But if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe. It helps the algorithm to be kind to me. And let me get all my paintbrushes. They're underneath my computer. But I don't need all of these, y'all. I think all I needed was this pencil. And, you know, I do love this brush. It's really big. But I painted the other one with those two. So I didn't really need a lot of different variety. So I'll just put those over there. But I'm hoping that I don't pull any of this stuff off of the table because it's like wires going across my lap. All right, so let me see. I don't have and I like to have my paints in the photo so y'all can see them. But if I don't have it in the photo, then you can't see it. Let's see. There, and that's probably better anyways because you'll have more, you'll be able to see more of my painting. There we go. And so here's my paints. And this one, okay, so I did a black poodle on one of my ornaments, and let me just tell you, a black dog is very hard to paint. but I was able to do it. And this is lamp black, which I don't normally use, but it was really perfect for a black poodle. And so see, you can't really tell that I've already drawn that. It's real faint. And that's because I don't want it to be too dark when I do it. Okay, I got my clean water. I don't have my 2 clean waters today just because I don't think I'm going to need 2, but I always have my students start with 2. So they always have one that's clean and one that's for their dirty water. All right, first things first, I'm going to make this nice and kind of clean. You know, I always make my paints mix and match in there, and it doesn't always look good. But what I want to do is start with this clean yellow and just real pale, nothing too fancy, but I'm going to make it pale at the top. And I'm going to add some yellow here and there. And like in my other one, I actually drew them, but you could still see my drawing. Even though it was faint, you could still see it. So this one, I'm not drawing my little circles first. I'm just putting in little yellow dots here and there. So these are my lights on the Christmas tree. Some of them. It's going to be colored lights. Let's do colored lights because I feel like doing the white lights is too easy, right? Okay, so now I'm going to do some red. And I could switch to my smaller brush, but I think I'm just going to get this one super saturated with water. And let's see, what do we do with that? Okay, make sure it's not too dark. And here's the thing about ornaments is they're going to start reflecting what's around them. And some of these are just going to be lights. So there's red lights and there's red ornaments. So I can do some little dots and then bigger circles. And that's just like random. Don't even worry about where's everything going. So we're just putting them randomly. And this is our first wash, first of a lot. Linda, I have my lemon tea and it's not helping. My throat is still going. But I'll just keep hoping it gets better. All right, now we're going to do this blue. So I have several blues. Let's just go ahead and wet them all. Because for that background, we're going to be using all the blues. And some people start with their background, but I like to do background last, I guess. So now I'm going to add some blues. Just tiny little dots here and there with blue lights. And also some little round ornaments. Just here and there. I'm leaving a little white space on these ornaments just so they can kind of have a reflection in them. And that'll make it look more realistic. But I'm not even looking at my example on my phone anymore. Let's see. And then what else did I use? Some kind of green for the lights. Maybe a little bit of green lights, because yeah, there's green lights on our Christmas tree, right? So I'm just putting in a couple little dots here and there. And then maybe some ornaments. And they're real light. And let's see. Whoops. That's okay. Kind of goes into there. And here's the thing. I want my center of this star on top to be real pale. So I'm going to actually lift with a clean brush. So I rinse my brush, dry my brush, and then I lift. And see how that makes it so much lighter? Kind of cool, huh? I love watercolor. It's just really amazing. All right, so I think what I need to do is kind of let that dry a little bit. I don't know if there's any other colors we need to put in there. You want some orange? Tell me what other colors you want in there. Let's do some orange maybe. And I have lots of little orange paints. Let's do a couple of orange. Just little dots. No ornaments, just the lights. I hear my dog. Oh, she's like staring at me through the window. Oop. All right, and so what do you think of that? Now watch this. I'm going to switch to my smaller brush just because I want to have a little bit more control. So Marianne, if you like having a lot of control over what you're painting, you could just get a smaller brush. But what I'm going to do is just dab some of these and just kind of blur their edges. Just kind of blur them a little bit. Because not everything is completely 100% in focus when you're looking at it. So having that little blurriness to it is kind of good. And this is where I just kind of let my brush do what it wants to do and not really be too precise. Because in the end, we're going to be painting around each of these little circles with some dark green for the evergreen part. So we're just kind of making what you might consider a mess. But if there's anything you do and you're like, ooh, I don't like how that one turned out, you can always dab it. But I kind of like how it's turning out so far. And so you can leave some of these more defined and some more loose. Yeah, my dog just gave a big sigh, huh? What else have we? Oh, you love it so far, Linda. Thank you. It's turning out so far so good. Let's see. So now I got to mix. Let's go back to the bigger brush. Let's mix some of this green. So I just re-wet it. And I made like this little spot right here on my palette. And it's pretty much going to be this green. It's called sap green. And it's out of the tube. But see, I already have some of this mauve color. And I'm going to just take up a little bit and mix it in with that green. What does that do? It kind of makes it, what does it do? Makes it look more like a darker green. And you just keep adding a little bit at a time, just like a little titch, right? And if it's too much, you add more green back in. And just go back and forth until you find the color you like. And so the more of this mauve you mix in with the green, the darker it's going to get. More muted it's going to get. I think I like that color. That looks good. And you probably can't see. I think the light is shining on that. Oh well. So see how this was, this is like a evergreen color now. I like it. So I might have to lift this up on an angle so that it's not shining. But for some reason it's still shining. There we go. So now I'm going to do this. I'm going to mix and just touch here and there. Might start up here. And see, some of these are still really wet. And I'm just very carefully making some of these little pine needles come off here and there. And so this is where you can like get a little frustrated if it's still really wet and you don't want your green to mix with your lights. So you may want to wait a little bit longer, or you can use one of your heat tools and just kind of do that. I'm kind of trusting the process here, so, and seeing if it'll just work itself out in the end. This is getting on my nerves under my wrist there. So I'm going to start doing some more here and there. And I don't mind if it does bleed into some of those other colors. It's okay. It's not going to be that big a deal, really. I'm just trying to get the first wash really going. Let's see what else. So just kind of going around some of these. But you know, what's really cool about a Christmas tree and the lights is that sometimes those lights are hiding behind a branch. So you do kind of need to remember that not all the branches are going to be out in front. Some of them are behind the lights. Some of them can even be touching the lights. So I really love how the watercolor is melting together a little bit like that and just making this really cool effect. I hope you can see what I'm doing. But this is still like my first wash, so it's not gonna look like this straight from the get-go. It's gonna have to take time to get to that. And so that's why sometimes when I'm painting I get a little impatient, but I have to remind myself that it is a process and not to get too frustrated that it's not looking how I want it to look right away. But I do like the fact that watercolor, when you get it really wet, like add a lot of water, and it just kind of flows and does these cool little, I don't know, they just do like really cool effects without even trying to do it. Alright, so now I'm just making like the little branches, little pine needles here and there. It's not straight. You don't make your tree perfectly straight. You don't make it perfectly, well, I guess you do kind of look for it. And when you go to pick a tree out, you want it to be kind of symmetrical. But it's not always, is it? Like sometimes you get it home and you're like, oh, there's a big spot on the back that I didn't notice. And now it's got to be this side that goes towards the wall. Has anyone here ever had a Charlie Brown Christmas tree? So like one that definitely you would not pick. For me, I don't know. I guess sometimes I'm like real picky when I'm going to the tree lot to pick a tree. And I'm like, let's pick the best tree. But you get it home and then you feel like you got a Charlie Brown tree. And it's like, oops, we didn't really pick this one out too good. But once you put all your ornaments on it, then you're like, yeah, it looks pretty good. All right, so I think I've done enough with that. What I'll do is rinse this and dry it, and then just, because that was just too dark up there, because the tree light is really up at the top, and all of this is going to be illuminated more, so you don't want too dark in there. All right, so now we got the tree going. It's real pretty. And Linda says, wow, so cool. Thank you. I love that. So we're definitely going to do some of the sky now, because when you're waiting for something to dry, it's good to focus on another part of the painting. So I may switch my brush again. So put that one down, get my big one. And this one I got at Michael's in a set of 5, and it was so inexpensive. And you guys, you don't need super fancy expensive stuff to start watercoloring. You can start watercoloring with a Crayola set of watercolors and a fairly cheap brush. Now, once you start realizing that this is something you enjoy doing, I do recommend that you upgrade to different things. And probably the best thing to upgrade is your paper. So I am painting on Arches paper. I think this is Arches. It was a large sheet that I bought for a commission, and then I cut down. So, all right, so you see what I'm doing right here? I'm mixing, and I'm mixing all my blues. Why am I mixing all my blues? Just because it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to mix them all together. So now I'm going to do that. And do that. So we like the dark in those corners, right? Now I'm just going to rinse. Mix some water. And oops, I didn't want to go too close to that. I'm going to rinse that again. Rinse it. Kind of dry it. And just get in there a little bit. Not too close. But just a little bit of water. And that just looks really pretty, huh? It's kind of a glow around the tree. And if you want a little more blue in there, you can just add a little bit more blue. You can even do little dots. Little dots of blue here and there. I like that. But see, playing around with watercolor, this is one of those things where I'm just kind of playing and seeing what I like. Do I like this? Do I like the little dots? Do I want more little dots? And see, I did use, I don't know if you can see it real good in here, but it's starting to, there's a little reflection on there. But I am starting to see some granulation. So granulation is where the pigment is kind of, let's see if I raise that up just a little bit. That's less shiny. It's fine. So granulation is just where it's making separation. There's like different metals maybe in it that are heavier than the other pigments, and so when it gets in some water, some of it sinks to the bottom while others stay at the top. So that just makes it more granulated, which just gives it kind of that cool little grainy feel. So now I'm just kind of wetting my brush and just kind of going on this little edge, just because it seems a little harsh to me. So I'm just kind of going and spreading that out. And now I'm lifting just a little bit with the dry brush. And so that just makes it kind of glow from there. This tree does not have snow on it. No snow. It's just a tree. And I'm just getting rid of that harsh line from that blue. I have to spread my tree out just a little bit just to get that kind of pine tree feel again. But there we go. So that's cool. I like how that's looking. Next, I think I'm going to go back to my smaller brush. So the medium-sized one. And I'm going to mix some of the green again because I want some more of my evergreen in there. And I'm almost all done using that mauve. But that's okay. I guess I can try and mix some of this purple in there and see what happens. You can always mix red in there. It'll look just as good. So now I'm just kind of going in. It's already drying. Pretty much it's drying. So now I'm just going in with some like little pine needles here and there. So they're not everywhere. They're just here and there. And because I wet this, see how when I touched where it's wet, it kind of spreads? And that kind of looks cool. So I'm going to do that in a couple of these little places. And it's just going to add a kind of real loose look to that Christmas tree. Who knows? Maybe this will be my Christmas card. Could be. Could be my Christmas card. I never know what mood I'm going to be in for Christmas. If I'm in a kind of a more playful mood or a more serious mood, or I don't know. The world's kind of serious right now, so it might be in a serious mood. But I think it's kind of fun to have a funny card to send to people, and it makes them happy, makes them smile, because we all need to smile, don't we? I feel like we do. All right, I'm getting some of this in there. I need some more in there, in between these lights and ornaments. Just here and there. And I do like how that looks kind of fuzzy out there. A little bit of fuzz, little fuzzies. Okay, so now I'm going to rinse that. And what I'm going to go back and do with my smaller brush is get this nice and wet and then add that red back in. So I got to get this nice and wet again. And we're just going to go right into it. We're just going to put some brighter red ornaments. And ornaments are real reflective. So we're going to actually try and keep some of the white maybe. If we do overpaint it and lose that little bit of reflection in it, we can use a gel pen at the end when everything's dry. And that'll make it look look like it's glowing and reflecting things. All right, so now I'm going to just rinse that and use somewhat clean, and I'm just very gently touching here and there because I like how it bleeds out just a little bit. And I think you can see it. I hope it's not reflecting. I actually looked at Amazon to see if there's some kind of light for doing videos that I can use, because that would be nice to have a little bit more of a soft light instead of a direct light, because right now my light system is right there, pointing straight down. So as you can see, I'm just touching here and there to see what happens. This can get I can get overboard with this, so we got to be kind of careful. I kind of like it. All right, I might go in with my orange again to just to see what happens. See what happens if we add a little bit of orange here and there. And kind of mixes with some of those other colors. And I'm going to rinse my brush and just add a little bit of water. Just touch it. See how it spreads it out? So that's kind of cool how it does that. And it just makes it kind of look like it's going behind the tree a little bit. There we go. It's gonna need a little more orange. Let's see, down in here. I'm just gonna touch that with the clean water and dab it. And if you're practicing your watercolor on a daily basis, you're gonna know how things are gonna start reacting. So then it'll be easier for you to figure out like what you're doing. If you like something or not. Too much paint. But I'm liking that so far. Now the blue, I've kind of lost my blue. Let's see if we can get some more blue back in there. So I'm going to dab it here and there where there's like ornaments. Just here and there. And it just makes them pop right back out. Remember, leave some reflection. And if you just touch it and it's kind of wet, that's kind of cool. And you can touch it anywhere you want on here. Touch it right there, touch it right here. You know, there is some purple in it on our lights. Maybe I should put some purple. I don't know. We'll just do it here and there. See what happens. Remember, this is a painting. It's not a photograph, so we don't have to make it look super duper realistic. All right, now I want to go back in with my green and just tap, tap, tap. Tap and tap. I like those yellows. I don't want to get too close to my yellows here. Okay, so Linda, you have it on full screen, so not commenting. Okay. That's cool. No, I think I stared too much at my phone and my eyesight's not as good as it was. And I need to probably look at things on the TV again. All right, so now I'm going to start getting where I'm making my my lights just a little bit more exaggerated in there and putting in more of the green. Let's see. As you can see, I got a nasty little cauliflower there. Let's see if we can lift that. Let's see, sometimes we mess up and it gets a nice little cauliflower that we didn't want. But if you rinse your brush, dry it really good, and then you can start lifting. And what I can end up doing is repainting the blue if I want. I don't know if it's salvageable. Let's see. I guess it's okay. My paper towel is already getting really saturated with water. It's taking, you know, some time to dry. All right, so let's take just a little tiny break while it's drying. I don't know, what do you guys want to talk about? We'll talk about what are your plans for Thanksgiving? Jeremy and I are going to spend it with his sister. So that's going to be fun. And then I think Jess is going with her dad. So probably won't be together with my kiddos, but which is weird. But as they get older, they're growing up and they're getting their own lives. So that's what you want your kids to do, is have their own lives, right? Let's see. I don't know if it's dry enough yet. Sometimes a couple minutes is good. Sometimes you need more. And what I really want to try and do is add a little Payne's Gray. You know how I like my Payne's Gray. So look at that. I'm going to mix it in with that green to make it a nice little bluey green. Just add some darker elements in here, because you don't want your tree to be completely 100% all the same tone. You gotta have some unique colors here and there. I don't know what my dog is doing out there. Definitely doing something. Oh, he's messing with the cat. She's messing with the cat. That's fine. You can mess with the cat. Just don't eat my carpet. And I don't know if you see what I'm kind of doing. Oops. Kind of flicking things here and there. Maybe I don't want to flick things too much. But you know what? Sometimes we got to do what we got to do. And I want to make this kind of a bushy little tree over here. And you know what I did find out, Marianne, is like when you have a consistency that is kind of a creamier than water. If like the thing behind it is watery and you put creamy on there, it's going to be sitting more on top. And if you put a watery consistency on top of a creamy, then the water is going to spread out. So that's just something that I heard someone talk about in a video. So it can make it so that you're frustrated because of the consistency of your water and paint. So then it makes it more out of control, or it's not doing what you think it should be doing. I don't know. I kind of like that, but I may go in and do some darker blues in here. Why? Just because I can, right? I'm the artist, so I can do what I want. And I can put a little bit of salt in there. I always keep a little thing of salt. If you're painting, always keep like a little thing of salt. And I just take a little pinch and just put it here and there. Just don't overdo it. I might put some right in there. We'll see what happens, right? It's kind of fun. What I really like to do sometimes is to rinse my brush, get some clean water, and just do that. And Linda, you were saying something about the bokeh. You know what the bokeh is, right? Is that how you say it? Bokeh? Could be wrong. Bokeh is kind of like that bubble effect that that photographers put on their photos. Let's see. Oh, Linda. So when you put those colors down first, that was kind of like a base, so you know where to where to put the green for the tree. Yes, that's kind of what I do. So I drew the image of the tree shape, and then I put the lights first, but then I'm going to paint around them so they're still kind of glowing. Marianne, I'm going to my sister's. That's good. Then your nieces. Perfect. It's always fun to be with family, especially if you don't see them all the time. Let's see, Linda said, that sounds fun, both of you. Yep. Marianne, will you show us your finished painting that you're doing for the client of his tree? Yes, I will. You want to see it? Yeah, I think it's going to be gorgeous. I already did a rough draft of it, but I want to, I don't know, I just want to do some more to it. All right, now I'm adding some kind of this dark Payne's Gray at the bottom. And I'm making a shadow of the pine needles. See how they're just kind of coming out? And you can use a smaller brush. Sometimes I use this big brush just because I'm pretty good at keeping it, you know. But that's supposedly the shadow. Supposedly. But I'm going to go in and do some Payne's Gray here and there, because I think having that darker shadow, you know how a tree has that little shadow in there. So then you'll be able to see like those lights kind of light up better. And I'm just kind of trusting myself to paint where I need to, because sometimes if you try to think too much about it, you're gonna end up with a mess. I may still end up with a mess, who knows? But I like what I'm doing so far. It's looking pretty good. But I'm gonna just keep adding till it looks like what I want. What do I want? I don't know. I want a Christmas tree that looks lit up. Now down here, I think all this looks a little bit dark. Could be wrong. Marianne, I think so too. The way you described it will be so cozy and beautiful. Oh, thank you. I hope it will. So now I'm just going to add just a little bit of this clean water and just blur a little bit of this. And then I got to flick it up into there. No straight lines. This is a Christmas tree. There are no straight lines. I like that. All right, so that's looking pretty good. I don't think my salt's doing anything. I don't know if it's my table salt that doesn't work real great. I do try to keep it on there just in case it works. But it's not really doing anything. And let's see. I may want to go a little bit more blue at the top here. So dipping into that darkest blue. And see, I'm just kind of wiggling that around too and not really being too precise. Just wiggling it around. And it makes it kind of look, what was the word you used, Linda, when we were talking on the phone? Did you say angelic or something? I don't even know. But look at that. You just dab some water and look what happens. It just starts flowing and looks really just very soft, which is what you kind of want for a background to look kind of soft. No hard edges. Although you may want some hard edges here and there. Like I love when I do a sharp shadow on something, like see those shadows down there at the bottom of the tree. I think that kind of helps to give it a little bit of a shape. And I may want that to go out just a little bit more down there. And I don't know if that's good or not. Maybe. It may lift up right here. Because I want that to come out a little bit more. So now I'm going to do some of the green. And see what happens if I add the green in there. Green needs a little purple added to it. Or mauve. Yeah. That's looking pretty. I might go back in there and add some more. Might add some yellow to my green. Because sometimes when you're looking at the Christmas tree all lit up, there's going to be some more yellowy branches just because they're lit. So that might make it look a little pretty if you add that yellow green in there. But yeah, I'm just kind of here and there putting stuff. Just kind of being, not thinking too much. Because I do have quite a bit of that white space and I want it to be more greenery in there. So that my lights are standing out just a little bit more. And you can keep adding more yellow. This yellow kind of pushes paint away. So like if I put some yellow here, kind of pushes that color. But yeah, this one is my second attempt. So that other one was my first attempt. Let me see. Do I want to put a little bit of red? Just to maybe there. Ooh, look at that. That's kind of pretty. So I might do some more little reds here and there. Just kind of, oh, it's so pretty. So pretty, so pretty. Kind of like how that looks. So you might be like doing your painting and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I want to keep adding some more in there. I don't want it to just be super clean looking. Look at that. That's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I love it. Linda Ball, like the heavens. Yes, that's I remember now. He said it was like the heavens. So I don't know if this one is like the heavens, but so far, can you see side by side kind of? Let me put it over here. You love it? Oh, thank you. I think it's looking pretty. I think it's looking super pretty. So that back over there. I might do some of the blue. Do that blue again in here. Maybe do just a little bit in there. Just a little bit right there. It just likes to do whatever it wants to do. I like that so much. Okay. I may be liking this one more than I liked the one from earlier this morning. Maybe. Because I'm liking just putting a dot here and there and seeing how it flows wherever it wants. I think I'm definitely using a lot more water on this one as well. So yeah, that's looking pretty bright and vibrant. So I like it. I kind of want it, I wish I could just do pure yellow. Let's see what happens. Let's mix this with some water. It's a little green, but that's okay. What will happen if I dab a little bit right here? And it did nothing. Now, if you have some white gesso, you can always add some white in there. I have that white right there, which I don't know if I like it. It's kind of like a yellowy, or I don't know, it's like a beigey white. It's not a real bright white. That's okay. So I'm just adding here and there. I like it. I'm liking it. Yep. Looks kind of fun. So if you don't have white, I think mine is over here. Let's see. Okay. Hey Megan, good morning. Glad you could join us. So we're already almost done, but I'm gonna show off a little bit of this Dr. I think it's PH's for Phil. Dr. Phil Martin's Bombay White India ink. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. It gives you a nice little eyedropper, which I don't want to just pour in there. So guess what? I always keep like one of these little things on my desk so I can just put some in the bottom of that. It's probably all I need is a little drop. And I don't really like to use my nice brushes for that. So what I'm going to use is, this is like not as nice of a brush. So I'm just going to get it in there. And I'm just going to tap. Can even tap on the blue. Tap on the blue. I love it. Do you love it? It's looking really pretty. Let's see, I might overdo it. That's just what we do. Artists, huh? We overdo something. But I think I'm good with that. I think I'm going to let that dry. And I might just do a couple little wispy thingies here just to make it look more like pine trees, needles. Because that kind of makes it look kind of cool. The shadow. Ooh, I do kind of like that white in there. I'll have to take a picture of it when it's completely dry and show y'all. But if I want to, at the end, after everything's completely dry, go in on some of these ornaments. Here, I'll show you on this one. So I use the number 8. Again, this came in a 3-pack. Just like this. And it has 3 sizes, 5, 8, and 10. And it's Jelly Roll Classic Bright White ink. And guess what? $5 from Michaels. Love it. So let me show you on here, because this one is definitely dry. Kind of already did all of them, but let's just pretend on this ornament here and see how I can just add a little bit of white on the bottom right there. I can do some more white on that. Maybe over here. But like on the dark, you can really see it. See how it kind of stands out? And I could even make little white lights with this. And this gives you a lot of control, having a white gel pen. But see, this is already dry because I did this one earlier. So you can really play around with it a little bit and add more to it if you want. Like I can even take this and add more brighter red if I want. See how that's turning out? I can make... Yeah. Just me, and I'm on my video. I think so. I think so. I think so. I've been in my office. Well, don't let the video show you. All right. Crazy child. All right, so see how I added a lot of red on that and it's totally making it pop? Does that bright red in there? I like that. I like that. That looks good. I'm gonna rinse that and see. So that just added a whole nother level of red. I know, yeah, all that in under an hour. That's right, Linda. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? So, it is kind of crazy how fast I can paint. But that's because of watercolor. Watercolor, I think, is one of those mediums that you can get a lot of color on your paper pretty quickly. I guess acrylic too, but for me, when acrylic is drying, it dries so fast and then it becomes like a hard plastic, so you can't blend again on it, where watercolor, once it's dry, you can blend it again. You can re-wet it and you can lift off. You can do all kinds of fun things with it. I really kind of like this white splatters in this other one. Let me see if you can see that. I think it just came to life. Like it looks like the lights are just like sparkling all over that tree. I might make that one into my Christmas card this year. Who knows? Last year I did the cotton fields near my house. So I painted the cotton fields, which is what we refer to as southern snow because it doesn't ever get too cold here to get snow. Sometimes, but it was like one year we had some little snow flurries coming down. It was really cool. But I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. I've only been doing watercolor for, since 2020. And it's been, learning more and more every year, every day, actually. When I paint more and more, I learn more and more. What'd you say? Linda Ball says you should make this your card. Yeah, I might do that. And what's cool is I think it's Staples that I had them print some cards for me one year. You can also have them print a postcard if you want instead of a card. But the cards, I believe you can have them have envelopes come with them. So that's kind of a cool thing. Right now I have to go to Walgreens and pick up some prints I had made of some of my other watercolors to see how they would turn out and if they would be worth making prints of. So we'll see how those turned out. I'm going to go pick them up today. But yeah, I guess this is it for today. I hope you guys have a good one and happy Thanksgiving, safe travels, prayers for you. Oh, wait. I was going to tell you guys some scripture because, wait, I don't want to make an emergency call. Whoops. Please don't make an emergency call. So this is what I do usually when I wake up at a weird time and I look at my watch, then I look up scripture for that time. So I woke up at 3:36, so I looked up scripture on Google. Google came up with John 3:36, which we all need to kind of remember this, I think. Oh, I love you too, Linda. Mwah! But here's our John 3:36, and it says, "Whoever believes in the Son has eternal life. Whoever does not obey the Son shall not see life, but the wrath of God remains on him." Not super happy at the end there, but I have to say, believing in Jesus, that's the only way that you're going to be safe. Because this world is just crazy, and without Jesus, I wouldn't have peace in my heart. I can have peace in my heart because of Jesus. I know where I'm going. So I hope y'all feel that way too. There's my child. Say hello. Oh my gosh, my little puppy. Come here, little puppy.
I didn't mean to let him in there. I was screaming at you because I didn't want to walk out of the bathtub without a towel on and scare you.
Yeah, that would be bad. So Linda's on. Say hi to Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Say hi to Marianne.
Hi, Marianne.
Say hi to Megan.
Hi, Megan.
I don't know who else is on there. That's just who's done some comments, but y'all, this is the most precious. Did you just let the cat in?
No, I got her.
Ooh. I don't like the cat in here. But the dog, I don't mind. He's precious. He's a precious little bubbles.
She totally tried to
He's a precious little bubbles. Linda Ball says, "Hi, Jessie May."
Hi. Do you want me to take him from you?
I guess. I don't know. I'm all done. We're just going to say bye to everyone. Jessie May. It's M-A-Y, not M-A-E.
I always say M-A-E.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what Dad does, too.
I didn't know that. Y'all, I told Jessica she needs to crochet some really cute ornaments for our craft show in December. What do you think? She is a crocheting queen.
Not really. I'm not that good.
Yeah, you are. Very, very good. Super awesome. You made little outfits for a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess this is it for us today, and we'll see you next. Aw, so are you. Thank you.
Thank you.
But we'll see you guys next Monday, and have a safe holiday. Mwah.